Ever get that feeling? Like something's lurking just out of sight. Not a physical thing, really. More like that nagging fear.
Oh, the one that keeps coming back.
Exactly, like a horror movie villain.
You think you've escaped, moved on.
But bam, it's back.
Maybe wearing a new mask this time.
But definitely the same old dread underneath.
Yeah.
And today we're getting real about those shadows
Oh, this sounds interesting.
with a Michael Myers-themed tarot reading.
Okay, now hold on. Before anyone jumps out of their skin,
Right.
horror fans or not, this isn't about actual jump scares.
No. It's about confronting the Michael Myers within,
Okay, I think I see where you're going with this.
those relentless fears we all have that keep coming back no matter how hard we try to outrun them. Like Michael Myers himself, right?
Yeah, I'm intrigued and a little terrified, but mostly intrigued.
Good. So we're using this spooky lens to understand our own patterns, maybe even find some strength in those shadows.
All right, I'm ready to dive in. What's this Michael Myers spread revealing about our hidden fears?
Okay, so the first question is, what fear is silently stalking me?
Ooh, that's a good one. Gets right to the point.
And the cards are giving us some serious food for thought, let me tell you.
Lay it on me. What are they?
2 of Wands, 7 of Wands, and the phrase, they want to let you in.
They. Now that's an interesting choice of words.
Right, now the reading suggests this they could be anyone from your past. An ex, a family member, even a friend.
Someone who wants back in your life.
Exactly.
And here's where that Michael Myers metaphor gets really interesting, I think. Just like he always seeks to find his way back. He always does. Some fears, they stem from those past hurts that haven't fully healed. And it's not just about the other person wanting back in.
Well, it's always more complicated than that, isn't it?
Always. It often triggers our own fear of being vulnerable again and potentially getting hurt all over again.
Ugh, it's like you're reading my mind right now.
Mm-hmm.
We've all had those moments, right, where a past hurt makes us wary of letting new people in. It's like we build walls to protect ourselves.
It's a natural human response.
Totally. And speaking of natural responses, this reading also connects this fear to Mars in Aries. Mars, all about action, drive, assertiveness.
Ah, Mars and Aries, a fiery combination.
Tell me about it. So in Aries, it can create this sense of urgency, even aggression.
It's not just passive worry then, it's like an internal battle trying to decide how to deal with this person from your past.
That push and pull within ourselves, right? Do we risk opening that door again? Or keep it firmly shut?
And that internal debate can be incredibly unsettling. So tell me, what past hurt comes to mind for you with this first card spread?
Ooh, that's a good one. What door are you hesitant to open, or maybe even terrified might get forced open?
And that's just the first card spread, right? I'm a little afraid to see where this goes next.
Oh, just you wait. Speaking of powerful, card 2 digs even deeper. This next spread, it doesn't hold back.
Oh boy, should I be worried?
Card 2 throws down the gauntlet, asks, what pattern do I need to break free from? And the cards.
The cards. Don't leave me hanging.
Well, let's just say they're here for some serious transformation. The Tower, Knight of Pentacles, and the very loaded phrase, I wish for you.
Okay, I knew we were going there eventually, but the Tower, that's heavy stuff.
Yeah, the Tower's notorious for representing, upheaval. Like that shakeup that completely alters the landscape,
The kind that leaves you wondering which way is up.
Exactly. And it can feel scary, for sure. But it's often a necessary demolition.
Demolition? You make it sound so intense.
Well, think of it this way. It's about tearing down those outdated structures to make way for something stronger, something more aligned with who we're becoming, and with the Knight of Pentacles alongside it.
All right, so maybe not the gentle nudge I was hoping for.
Definitely eye-catching, though, right? So this knight, hardworking, dedicated, reliable.
The kind of person who always follows through.
Exactly. But they can also get stuck in a rut, always striving, pushing for that next milestone.
And never quite feeling satisfied.
The reading suggests you might be caught in that pattern, equating struggle with strength.
Like you have to earn good things through sheer effort, weathering every storm.
Which, let's be honest, is a pretty common narrative. Especially if we've had to fight for what we have.
We learn to associate hardship with worthiness.
Exactly. But then we get that intriguing phrase, I wish for you.
Ooh, I like that. It's like a little whisper of hope.
Right. It's like the universe, maybe even our higher selves, stepping in to say, hey, you deserve good things simply by existing.
You don't have to constantly prove your worth.
And that, my friend, is where the real challenge and liberation lies. This card spread, with Saturn in Capricorn's influence. It's pushing us to examine those outdated structures.
Saturn and Capricorn, always about structure, discipline, hard work.
So it's asking, what are we clinging to? Those stories we tell ourselves about what we must endure to be worthy of happiness, of success.
Are we holding ourselves back with those stories?
It's like we're being asked to confront our inner Michael Myers, that relentless drive, the need to control every outcome.
What if we chose to be driven by joy instead? By abundance?
What if we gave ourselves permission to receive good things without the constant struggle?
That shift in perspective, it can be terrifying, but incredibly empowering too.
Because when you release those limiting beliefs, when you start to embody that inherent worthiness,
You open yourself up to a whole new way of being in the world, recognizing that you're worthy of love, joy, success, not because of what you do, but because of who you are.
okay, that all sounds great in theory. But how do we actually do that? Go from feeling like we have to earn everything to embracing this idea of inherent worthiness.
It starts small, conscious choices every day. Celebrate those wins no matter how small they seem.
Practice a little self-compassion.
Exactly. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you'd offer a loved one. And most importantly, challenge those negative self-talk patterns.
Oh, those pesky little voices.
Yeah.
Always popping up at the worst times.
Right. So when you catch yourself slipping into that I'm not good enough territory, reframe it. Remind yourself of your strengths, your accomplishments, your inherent value.
Rewiring our internal dialogue to be more supportive, more loving.
Exactly. And that in itself is a huge step towards breaking free.
But I have to ask, what about those relationships, those past hurts we talked about earlier?
Yeah, yes. Those old wounds.
How do they play into this pattern of struggle and worthiness?
That, my friend, is where our final card spread comes in. And it offers a surprisingly hopeful perspective. Ready for card 3.
All right, final act. And it sounds like things are about to get real. Card 3 asks, how can I find strength in the face of fear? And the card's delivered a whole lot of swords energy.
Oh, swords energy. Tell me more.
Page of swords.
Yeah.
3 of swords. And the very loaded word, family.
Family. Interesting. This reading definitely has a type.
Right. Okay, universe, we get it. Communication is key. But with the 3 of swords right there, usually signaling heartbreak, pain, how does this all connect?
It's about diving deeper, I think, beyond the surface level. See, swords in tarot, they often represent communication, intellect, clarity.
So we need to use our heads more than our hearts here.
In a way, yes. This spread suggests that facing those fears requires honest self-reflection and potentially having a conversation with the person involved.
So no more running from our personal Michael Myers. Time to turn around and face the music.
You could say that, but remember, it's not about aggression. Think back to those swords. It's about approaching the situation with clear boundaries, open communication.
Okay, that makes sense. But I'm still stuck on family alongside the 3 of swords. Those two just feel a little contradictory, you know?
Not necessarily. Remember, family can mean so many things. Blood relatives, yeah, but also our chosen family, those friends who become the family we create.
The people we choose to have in our lives.
Exactly. And this is where the reading uses a really beautiful analogy, I think. Kintsugi.
Kintsugi, right. I've heard of that. It's the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery with gold. Yeah.
Exactly. So those cracks, the imperfections, they become part of the object's story, even its beauty.
It's about finding beauty in those imperfections.
Exactly. And just like with that pottery, not every broken relationship needs to be mended to be functional again.
Well, that's so true.
Some relationships are meant to be honored for the lessons they taught us, for the growth we experienced, even if they aren't meant to be a part of our everyday lives anymore.
Letting go with grace.
It's about recognizing the inherent beauty in our imperfections, you know, the wisdom we've gained from even our most challenging experiences.
So it's not about right or wrong answers. It's about making conscious choices, about who we allow into our lives, how we choose to relate to them.
And maybe, just maybe, finding a way to honor those cracks, those parts that broke us open and helped us become who we are today.
Wow. Who knew Michael Myers could lead us to such a profound realization? I mean, we started with this image of relentless fear, and now we're talking about self-acceptance, honoring our past and choosing relationships that reflect our growth.
It's all connected, isn't it? This deep dive, I think it shows us that facing our fears, even those that feel as relentless as Michael Myers, can lead to incredible transformation.
But it takes being honest with ourselves.
It does. Challenging our patterns, choosing love and compassion for ourselves and for the people who have touched our lives.
And sometimes that means walking away.
Sometimes, honoring the relationship for what it was and allowing both parties to move forward.
So much wisdom packed into this Michael Myers reading.
As we wrap up here, I want to leave everyone with one final thought. Remember that initial fear we uncovered, that person from your past. Consider this. How does the concept of family, in all its forms, resonate with that fear? Is it a source of that fear, or could it be a source of strength as you confront it?
Ooh, chills. And that, my friends, is how you unpack a Michael Myers tarot reading for profound personal insight. Until next time, remember, you are the author of your own story, and you have the power to rewrite any narrative that no longer serves you. Hey there, and welcome to this deep dive. And, well, this one's going to be interesting. We're diving into you with a little help from, wait for it, Ghostface.
Ooh, Ghostface and tarot. This is right up my alley. Tell me more. What are we working with here?
So you send in a script for a reading, right? And it's all about those classic Ghostface themes. Secrets, betrayal, are you really who you think you are, that whole deal.
Love it. Okay, so walk me through it. How does this reading actually work?
All right, so we've got 3 cards laid out, each one tackling a different question. And trust me, there are some seriously spooky messages woven throughout. Ready to get started.
Oh, absolutely. Let's unveil those hidden truths.
Okay, so card number 1 asks, what secrets are being kept from me? And the cards pulled for this are really something. The Empress, the Page of Pentacles, and the message, I hate you, I love you. Talk about a mixed bag.
Wow, that's quite the combination right out of the gate. Okay, so we've got abundance and nurturing with the Empress, right? Often connected to Venus-ruled signs like Taurus and Libra, relationships, beauty, those kinds of things. But then we've got this underlying sense of betrayal, almost like someone is hiding something.
It's giving major Ghostface energy, for sure. All sweet and innocent, 1 minute, then bam, you're questioning everything. What do you make of the Page of Pentacles in this mix?
Good point. Yeah, that Page of Pentacles, it often represents someone younger, maybe a bit immature, who could be involved in these secrets. We might be talking earth signs here. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Actually, your script specifically mentions someone lingering online, possibly even stalking your social media classic Ghostface move, always watching from the shadows. Think about that for a moment. Anyone in your life fit that bill?
Ooh, chills. And then to top it off, we have this super cryptic message. I hate you, I love you. Talk about mixed signals, right?
It's practically textbook manipulation, isn't it? Hot and cold, pushing you away 1 minute, reeling you back in the next. Ghostface has that down to an art, making you feel safe. And then, have you ever encountered this kind of dynamic by any chance?
Ugh, sadly, yeah, it's more common than we'd like to admit. Okay, so we've uncovered some potential secrets lurking in the shadows. Time to move on to card number 2, which asks, what false face am I showing the world? And get this, Judgment, the Star, and the message, I'm too shy. Whoa, Judgment right off the bat feels significant.
Absolutely. Judgment is huge EE. We're talking crossroads here, major decisions, transformations on the horizon. And tied to Pluto and Scorpio, no less. It's about facing those uncomfortable truths, both to yourself and to others. What are you avoiding in this situation? What's eating at you deep down? That's how we start to unmask this whole thing.
So are we talking about pretending everything's fine when it's really not? Like, say you've been betrayed, but you're putting on a brave face for the world even though you're hurting inside.
You hit the nail on the head, trying to convince everyone, maybe even yourself, that you've moved on. But deep down, the struggle is real.
So you're saying someone can be hopeful and grieving at the same time? I've never thought of it that way.
Oh, absolutely. We contain multitudes, right? We can have conflicting emotions all happening at once. The star here could be pointing to that mask of optimism you're wearing for everyone else.
Which makes the message, I'm too shy, even more interesting, don't you think?
Yeah.
It feels so vulnerable compared to, like, the intensity of Judgment and even the Star.
Totally. It's like this little peek behind the curtain,
Yeah.
almost a confession. Could be pointing to a fear of really letting someone in, of expressing those true feelings to the person who hurt you. Maybe there's still love there, but the fear of getting burned again is just paralyzing.
It's that whole classic Ghostface thing, right? Like, wanting to trust, but knowing they might turn on you at any second.
Oh, 100%. And that's the danger of these masks, the ones we wear and the ones others hide behind. Just keeps us stuck in this cycle of lies and hurt. Which brings us to the final question, the big one. How can I reveal the truth and unmask deception? Get ready for this. 5 of Swords, 6 of Swords, and the message, negative karma.
Five of Swords is intense. What's the deal there?
It often represents conflict, like walking away from a toxic situation, even if, and this is key, even if it means acknowledging you've lost something.
Mm.
And there's the strong air sign influence here, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. So lots of emphasis on communication using your head, but also detachment. It's about protecting yourself first and foremost, even if it means walking away from a fight you could win.
So there's always a cost, even if you're the one left standing.
Right. Which, again, very Ghostface, if you think about it. You think you've outsmarted the killer, you think you're in the clear, but it's that reminder that sometimes the bravest, strongest thing you can do is walk away. Protect your energy, protect your peace. Have you ever been in that situation where leaving felt impossible, but also like the only way to save yourself?
Ugh, haven't we all? It's never easy, but man, sometimes it's just what you gotta do. Okay, so Five of Swords is about walking away. What about Six of Swords?
Think of it like the aftermath. You've weathered the storm, now you're navigating those choppy waters, healing, processing. It's a journey, not like a light switch you can just flip.
There's no quick fix for heartbreak, right?
Yeah.
It takes time.
Exactly. We all heal at our own pace. This card's just saying, be patient with yourself, be kind to yourself through the process.
And then we have, looming over all of this, the message, negative karma. That's a heavy one.
Yeah, no sugarcoating that. It's a straight up warning. Holding on to anger, resentment, plotting revenge, all that, it just keeps you stuck in the muck. Like you're just replaying the same trauma on repeat.
Yeah.
What comes up for you when you hear that negative karma?
It makes you think about those consequences,
Yeah.
Like maybe by holding on so tight to all that anger and hurt, we're actually keeping ourselves tied to the people and situations we need to, like, cut loose.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that true healing, like really moving on. It means letting go, even
Yeah.
when it's the hardest thing to do. Breaking free from the cycle, so you can finally create a different story for yourself, a better one.
So after all of this, uncovering secrets, facing those masks we wear, talking about this whole healing journey, what's the big takeaway? What do you really want our listener to walk away with today?
I want them to know that none of this means they're alone. Secrets, betrayal, putting on a brave face when your world feels shattered, that's part of what makes us human, right? It's what you do with it that matters. Feeling the pain, facing those hard truths head on, choosing to move forward, that's how you break free. That's how you create real connection, genuine relationships.
It's like reclaiming your power, not letting the bad stuff define you, but using it to grow, to really figure out who you are underneath it all.
Yes. And can we just acknowledge how perfect this timing is? Halloween, when everything's about masks and hidden identities, and here we are diving deep into those very themes. This was never just about, like, spooky fun, was it? It's about taking a good, hard look at the masks we wear every day and asking ourselves, what would it look like to take them off? To really be seen.
It's like Ghostface is actually giving us this weird gift, this chance to confront those fears, those parts of ourselves we try to hide, and step into like a truer version of ourselves.
And that journey, it starts with a single step. So I'm curious, what really resonated with you during this reading? What action are you going to take to unmask your own truth?
Wow, that's a powerful question to sit with. This deep dive has been wild, I'm not going to lie. Twists and turns just like a good horror movie. But at the heart of it, this is a story about hope. About that strength we all have inside of us, that ability to heal and build something real.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And on that note, we'll leave you to it. Until next time, remember, trust your gut, know your worth, and never be afraid to reach out for support. We've all been there.
Okay, so get ready, because we're diving into some really interesting stuff today. It's a wild one.
Yeah.
We're talking tarot, we're talking chaos.
This is going to be good.
I'm intrigued already.
Get this. Chucky.
Like Child's Play Chucky.
The one and only.
Wow, okay.
That's right. You asked for a deep dive on this script, a script for Chucky-themed tarot readings. I've got to admit, when I first saw this request, I was like, really?
Yeah, it's definitely out there.
But here's the thing. Sometimes the most unexpected sources, they give us the best insights. What do you think?
Totally agree. This script, I took a look at it and I was instantly hooked. You've got Chucky, who is like the ultimate embodiment of chaos.
Oh,
right?
exactly.
And they're using him as this framework to understand the chaos we all deal with. Everyone has chaos. It's like, all right, Chucky, you might be the king of mayhem.
Right.
But can you actually teach us something how to handle the chaos in our own lives?
Exactly. I love that. So are we going to figure this out?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's dive in. All right, so the script jumps right in and welcomes us to this journey exploring chaos with, wait for it, Chucky as our guide. And the very first card pull, it's all about figuring out where chaos might be sneaking into our lives.
Okay, interesting.
So we meet our first card,
Which is?
the Knight of Wands.
Ah, yes, the Knight of Wands. Known for passion, energy, maybe a little reckless.
It's like that go big or go home energy.
Right, 100%.
Yeah.
Go for it, no holding back.
Exactly. And the script's saying that this energy, it can show up as burnout. Like we're chasing our passions so hard, so fast, we just burn ourselves out.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Oh, tell me about it.
Been there.
Right.
Yeah.
That feeling. Have you ever felt that pull? You're driven towards your dreams, but then you're also just completely fried.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And I think it's a good reminder, though, that even with positive things, like you said, that passion, you still need balance. Can't be on all the time. All right, what's the next card?
All right. So next up, the script pulls the Eight of Pentacles.
Okay, the Eight of Pentacles. Hard work, dedication, mastery, even.
Like being at the top of your game.
Exactly. Killing it in your field.
But here's where the script gets interesting. It takes this idea of mastery and it flips it, highlighting how chaos can creep in when we get stuck in a routine, even if it's a routine that's like successful on the surface. Have you ever felt that?
Yeah.
Where you're doing all the right things, you're achieving, but inside you just feel like you're going through the motions.
Oh, totally. It's that feeling of being stuck, even when you're succeeding, which honestly can be its own kind of chaos, right?
Absolutely.
Inner turmoil, feeling restless.
Yeah, like a chaos of the soul.
Exactly.
Okay, ready for the last card in this chaotic bunch?
Hit me with it.
The Love card.
Whoa, okay. Didn't see that coming.
Plot twist. But hold on. Before we all start picturing, like, roses and romantic getaways, the script gets real fast about how even love relationships, they can bring their own brand of chaos.
Oh, for sure. I mean, relationships can be messy, right?
The messiest.
Right. And it's not always, grand gestures and the happily ever after. The script, it digs into those moments where we feel pulled in a million directions, trying to make our love lives work while also chasing our own dreams, our ambitions, or even just dealing with the everyday conflicts, the communication breakdowns that happen in, well, any relationship, really.
So true. It's like that saying, love is a battlefield.
Right. You got to fight for it, but you got to pick your battles. You know what I mean? And those battles, those are a form of chaos. It's all connected.
Totally. And it makes me think, have you noticed how some people, they actually seem to thrive in chaos?
Oh, absolutely. They're like energized by it.
Right. And then there are others, and maybe I fall into this category, who just want to like curl up in a ball and wait for the storm to pass.
Oh, I feel that. Different strokes for different folks, right?
Exactly. But what's so cool about this script, it's using Chucky, who, let's face it, embraces the chaos to show us, all of us, how we can get better at navigating it. Okay, so we've seen where the chaos might be hiding in our lives. Thanks for pointing that out, Chucky. But now, what do we do about it? That's where the script gets really interesting. It goes from, like, diagnosing the problem to actually taking action. You ready for this?
Lay it on me. Let's do this.
Okay, so the script says it's time for another card pull. But this time, we're focusing on those little changes, the small stuff that can actually make a huge difference when it comes to, taming the chaos.
Okay, small changes, big impact.
Exactly. And get this. The script pulls, wait for it, the Emperor card.
The Emperor, okay.
Twice. I'm not kidding. Once from the main deck, and then get this again from a separate shadow deck. What are the odds?
Talk about a sign. It's like the universe is trying to tell us something,
Right. And it totally makes sense when you think about it, because the Emperor, he's all about structure, leadership, taking charge. Basically the opposite of, how Chucky usually operates.
Right. Total opposite ends of the spectrum.
Exactly. But that's what's so cool about this. It's taking these two things that seem totally opposite, chaos and control, and showing us how they can actually work together. So for our listeners who might not be tarot experts, break it down for us. What does the Emperor usually mean in a reading?
So the Emperor, he's all about bringing order to chaos, setting boundaries, making decisions, and owning those decisions.
I like him already.
Right. He doesn't shy away from taking charge, and he's not afraid to, make a plan and stick to it.
Okay, I'm getting, like, take charge vibes from this. But how do we actually channel that inner Emperor when we're dealing with, like, I don't know, work stress, relationship drama, all that fun stuff? It's not like we can all just become like little dictators.
Right, exactly. And that's where the script gets even better and makes a really good point. It's not about making these huge sweeping life changes all at once. you
Oh,
know?
goodness, because who has time for that?
Right. It's about the small stuff. It's about those consistent little actions, those little bursts of emperor energy that we can sprinkle throughout our day. It actually reminds me of that saying, how do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time.
Exactly. One
Yeah.
bite at a time.
Okay, that makes so much sense. So, like, instead of freaking out about, I don't know, the million things on my to-do list, maybe it's about, like, setting aside just 15 minutes to actually tackle one thing.
Exactly. Or, instead of letting that argument you had with your partner just fester, you actually have that difficult conversation. You address it head on.
Well, that's a good one.
Right. Small steps can lead to big, big changes. And this idea of balance, it comes up again with the next card. Are you ready for this one?
Hit me?
The 666 card.
Whoa. Okay, I'm not going to lie. That one threw me for a loop.
Yeah, definitely not your typical tarot card, right?
Not at all.
But it's here for a reason. And the script, it actually interprets it as this call to find balance, specifically between the material world and the spiritual world, especially when it comes to feeling in control, feeling grounded.
Okay, so, like, not getting so caught up in the material world, the chaos of our external lives, that we totally forget about our inner world.
Exactly. It's about nurturing our inner landscape. Because when we do that, when we find that stillness, that peace within ourselves, it actually makes us stronger, more resilient when we go back out into the chaos of the world. And it allows us to face that chaos with a lot more clarity, don't you think?
Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
like we're building that inner strength, that foundation, just like the emperor with his, strong base and clear vision. It's like tapping into this, like, wellspring of strength, that we
Yeah.
didn't even know we had.
Absolutely. And that inner strength, it's so important because now we're getting into like the final act of this whole Chucky tarot spread, which is all about taking back control,
Okay.
about not letting ourselves be manipulated.
Because, I mean, let's be real.
Right.
Chucky, he's like the king of manipulation.
Yeah.
Nobody pushes buttons like Chucky.
Totally. Master manipulator knows exactly how to use people's weaknesses against them.
Exactly. And, okay, we might not have a killer doll, pulling the strings in our real lives.
Hopefully not.
Right. But we all have those moments where we feel pressured, influenced, maybe even, manipulated, whether it's by other people or even just our own insecurities. Self-doubt, that's a powerful manipulator.
Oh, absolutely. It's like we're holding ourselves back. And that's what this part of the spread is all about. Like, how do we reclaim that power?
Right. I'm ready. Let's reclaim it. What's next?
Okay, so the script pulls the Two of Swords.
The Two of Swords. For me, that card always brings up, like, tough decisions. That feeling of being stuck.
It is about choices, specifically that struggle to actually make a choice.
Whoa, I know that struggle.
Right, that feeling of being paralyzed because you're so afraid of making the wrong decision.
Analysis paralysis. That's my middle name, honestly. Tell me about it. Wait, the script says that sometimes the way to break free from that, from being stuck, is to just choose.
Yeah.
Like, just make any choice and then adjust as you go.
Exactly, because no decision, it's not set in stone.
That's true.
And often when we make a choice, any choice, we create momentum. We open up possibilities that wouldn't have been there if we just stayed stuck. It's like instead of being frozen by fear, we take that step forward and we trust that we can handle whatever comes next.
Oh, I love that. It's like, I'm taking action, universe. Let's see what you've got. I
Exactly.
like it. What's next?
Okay, so the next card is the Nine of Pentacles.
Okay, the Nine of Pentacles. That one, to me, it feels like having your life together,
It is. Independence, self-reliance.
like everything around you could be totally chaotic,
Right.
but you're cool, you're calm, you've got this.
Right, that inner strength.
Yeah.
And the script really emphasizes that, cultivating that inner knowing. Like, we are worthy, we've got this, regardless of what's happening around us.
It's like building up that inner Chucky armor.
Yeah.
Nothing can penetrate.
I love that. That's a great way to put it.
Right. Deflecting all the negativity, all the doubt.
Because we all have those voices in our heads, those doubts, those insecurities, right? But this card is saying, like, you are stronger than that.
Okay, I'm ready for this last card. Hit me with it.
All right, drum roll, please.
I'm nervous.
The final card in this wild Chucky tarot spread. It's the I don't think you love me as much as I love you card.
Oh, wow. Okay, out of all the cards in the deck.
Right. I mean, it's so fitting, though. Quintessential Chucky. It's that over-the-top drama.
It really is. But here's the thing. The way the script interprets it is actually really deep,
Yeah.
Because it takes this whole idea of love and it flips it inward. It's not about needing validation from other people, but about cultivating that fierce, unwavering love for ourselves.
Yes. And realizing that our worthiness, it doesn't hinge on anyone else's approval.
Not even Chucky's.
Not even Chucky's. And when we truly love and accept ourselves, flaws and all, we actually change the dynamic of all our relationships.
Absolutely. We set the bar for how we allow others to treat us. Exactly. Because when we value ourselves, we're not going to settle for anything less from other people. And we're more likely to attract people who reflect that self-respect back to us.
And at the end of the day, that's what allows us to face all the chaos, all the craziness that life throws at us with so much more confidence.
It's like that inner strength that we were talking about.
Yeah.
It all comes back to that.
Right. Because when you have that strong foundation within yourself, you're not so easily shapen by the external chaos.
This has been amazing. Who knew that we'd find all this wisdom from, Chucky?
I know, right? Sometimes most unexpected sources can teach us the most valuable lessons.
This is why we do these deep dives.
Absolutely. Never know what you're going to find.
That's right. You got to keep an open mind. Well, on that note, a huge thank you to all our listeners for joining us on this wild ride. And keep those deep dive requests coming. We love exploring the unexpected. Until next time.